Still you bloom even when the world feels hollow and duty crushes the edges of my freedom. You bloom in places I cannot touch, in dreams I dare not speak aloud. When I walk marble corridors with the weight of centuries pressing on my shoulders, I still carry your name inside me. It slips through the lattice work of my mind like sunlight through ancient glass, coloring everything I see with your warmth. They say love for a princess must be quiet, composed, expected. But you are none of those things. You are the wild rhythm in my blood, the voice I hear when silence is demanded. I think of you when I rise in the mornings, draped in silk and titles, and I wonder, did you sleep well, were you dreaming, did you think of me even once? You do not know the whole of me, not the way the crown tries to mask the girl beneath. But still you bloom even in my absence, in a garden I cannot visit, in the corners of a world where my heart wanders barefoot, unnoticed, free. I watch the seasons turn from gilded balconies, and I pretend I do not long for the wind to carry me to you. Each day I sit straight, speak well and smile as a daughter of Spain should. Yet within I write your name across the sky with invisible ink. They do not see this part of me, the part that aches to run to you barefoot through a field of untamed flowers, free of crowns and cameras. I hear your laughter sometimes, as if memory could echo through time, and it lifts me higher than any anthem could. You live not in palaces or politics, but in the rhythm of my pulse when I read your letters, in the breath I hold before every reply. I imagine your hands not reaching for thrones, but reaching for mine. And I wonder if you know how rare it is to bloom in the thoughts of a girl born into golden cages, who has learned to speak in silence and love in secret. I carry you in the stillness between breaths, in the spaces no one notices. There are moments when I feel like just a figure, moving through ceremonies, smiling for cameras, reciting words I've practiced 100 times. But when I think of you, I am more than that. I become a girl with sunlit hair and salt on her lips, laughing beside a boy she cannot kiss. You are the world I want to run to when protocol lets me go. And though my kingdom may never allow it, my heart has already chosen you. You bloom in defiance of what they expect of me. You grow in the cracks of tradition, in the rebel spaces of my spirit. They have told me love must be logical, useful, arranged. But I have tasted something wilder in your presence. Something unruled and unscripted. I do not need permission to feel this. I do not need a throne to recognize that I am falling for the way your soul moves. Still you bloom and I breathe you in like forbidden air. You will never understand what it means to belong to a country before you belong to yourself. To have every gaze measuring your every step. But if you looked at me closely, closer than the cameras, closer than the crowds, you would see the truth in my eyes when I speak to you. I do not want to be just a portrait in your memory, a girl in a gown waving from far away. I want to be real to you even if the world won't let me. I want you to remember that beneath all of this, beneath the polished shoes, the straight spine, the royal titles, there is a heartbeat that flutters when your name crosses my lips. There is a girl who writes poetry with you in every line, who daydreams of your arms, as if they were the home she never knew she was missing. You are not part of the plan, you are part of the dream. Still you bloom even in this strange in-between where duty and desire collide in quiet, unstoppable ways. Some nights I close my eyes and let myself forget who I am supposed to be. In that hush, I let your memory climb the walls I have built with duty. You speak in the language of freedom, and I listen with a hunger I don't understand. In those fragile hours when the stars seem close enough to whisper to, I imagine a world where I could love you openly, a world where your hands could hold mine without consequence, where your kiss could silence the voices of expectation. I wonder, would you wait for me if I asked? Would you believe in a future where the crown bends for love, not against it? You may never know the battles I fight in silence, but know this: you are worth every one. You bloom in the soil of my strength, fed by my hope, watered by my defiance. And as long as you do, I will believe that love, true love, does not always need permission to be real. They train us to rule with wisdom, with patience, with restraint. But they never teach us what to do when love storms the gates of your heart like a revolution. You did not ask to be this to me, to be the poem I cannot stop writing, the secret I keep folded between layers of silk and legacy. Yet here you are, blooming in me like spring in a locked garden. My father speaks of alliances, my mother of duty, my country of sacrifice. But no one speaks of love, not like this, not the kind that leaves your name trembling on my lips in prayer, that follows me through every hole, every greeting, every silent glance toward the life I cannot have. Still you bloom, I envy your freedom, I adore your truth, and I wonder when you look up at the moon we both share, do you feel me there, wishing on it not for a crown or peace, but simply for the right to stand beside you, hand in hand, not as a princess but as me. They say every princess must choose her people over herself, her crown over her heart. And I must. But even as I do, I will carry you with me. You have made your home in my heart in such a quiet, certain way that I no longer remember what it felt like not to love you. You bloom in my silence, in my patience, in my strength. I think of how different our lives are. Yours unburdened by protocol, mine shaped by generations. Yet somehow we met, and in that meeting I found a piece of myself I never knew I was missing. Maybe we are not meant for a fairy tale ending. Maybe this is a story of almosts and maybes, of what could have beens. But even so, you have given me something no title ever could, the knowledge that I can love fully, quietly, completely. Still you bloom, and in doing so you teach me how to hold joy even when my hands are full of duty. When I walk alone, when the court is asleep and the palace echoes with ancient songs, I whisper your name just to hear how it sounds in the quiet. I imagine your voice answering mine, soft and real, grounding me. The moonlight touches everything with gentleness, but none of it feels as tender as the memory of your gaze. You see me truly, not as the figure behind the throne, but as the girl with dreams, with questions, with a laugh I reserve only for you. You bloom in that space where reality and reverie meet. Sometimes I think that love like this only lives in the gaps between worlds. But I do not regret a single moment of it. Not the longing, not the ache, not even the impossibility. For even if I must marry for peace, or stand beside someone chosen for me, no decree can strip your name from my soul. You have taken root, quietly, beautifully. Still you bloom, and I will forever be a garden grateful for your seeds. I fear the day my heart must pretend it never knew yours. The day I must look into the eyes of a stranger and call it fate, while burying the truth beneath layers of royal silence. They will dress me in white and call it a beginning, but only I will know what I left behind. You, the only love that ever made me question the very throne beneath my feet. And yet I cannot ask you to wait. You deserve a love that does not come with consequences. You deserve someone who can reach for you in daylight, not just in dreams. But if you ever wonder, if I ever cared, if I ever loved you, know this: I did. I do. I always will. You bloom in the parts of me I cannot show, in the verses I write and never share, in the songs I hum when I think no one hears. You are my secret anthem, my rebellion, my truth. Still you bloom, even when I must wither in silence.